Okay. Audio on, transition to the talking screen, and hello everyone! How are you doing, Mama?
I'm doing all right. How are you this evening?
I'm doing okay, other than forgetting to turn off the audio on my phone. And I guess I'm also a little irritated by OBS being weird, because I kind of want things to be orientated in a way that they were before. I guess this is the closest I'm gonna get. Alright. Whatever. I'll survive. I guess I am not up to anything super exciting, so I guess I'm ready to just hop straight into Sudoku if you are.
Sure.
Unless you've got anything you want to share.
No, nothing exciting my end.
Alright,
Managed to avoid flooding,
first,
so
that's good. The weather has been pretty bad recently, but it has only just been wet where I am. So, alright, here's a link to our first puzzle, No Logical Steps Found by Chip Sounder. For some reason, the computer solver has no idea what to do. Can you help? Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 through 9 once each in every row column in 3x3 box. Digits in a dotted cage without repeat sum to the total in the top left corner of the cage if given. Digits on a gray line must read the same forwards as backwards. Digits on a purple line must not repeat and form a set of consecutive digits in any order. Cell separated by a black dot has one digit double the other, 1 to 2 ratio, and clues outside the grid. Sum the digits along the indicated diagonal. Digits may repeat, and no negative constraints. So essentially, all we're saying is that this digit is that one, and this one is that one, which means doesn't mean a ton of things other than we're gonna have blue here and red in that. Well, those we know are automatically the same. And this is all of the digits, so if we take a look at that set, we know it's that set. I wonder if we have some type of set theory going on. I'm not seeing a way for it to work just yet. 6 and 9 is 15, so that doesn't have any restricted values. 22 doesn't have any restricted values. 40 along this diagonal. Well, this is 1 through 7. 8 and 9. Another 9. 8 and 9. And a 9. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 9s for
36.
36. A couple of 8s for 52. And a 7 for 59, I think. Yeah. So where would we start? Tallcat says, for what it's worth, the Ren ban in box 3 cannot have a 1 or a 2 on it.
This
Because
is
if
true.
it did, the dot here would be broken. How are you doing today, Tallcat? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So a 6 is required, which actually helps us quite a bit. Because this is now 1, 2, 4, and 8. Tallcat says, I am fine for a Monday. Good to hear. Laura Smith says that 15 in box 9 cannot be 4, 5, and 6. It breaks the black dots.
And in box 3, that black dot cannot be 4, 8 because it would break the Ren ban.
Right. So now we need a 2. But yeah. Because now, if this one, if this was 4, 5, and 6, like Laura Smith said, it can't be. This one here, for the top one, would be 1, 2. And then this one would have to be 4, 8, or 3, 6. Well, the 4 in the 15 removes the 4, 8 pair, and the 6 down here removes the 3, 6 pair, and now there's nothing left. So 4, 5, and 6 is gone. And Laura Smith says, so does 3, 4, and 8. Because, again, the 3 would break the 3, 6, and then the 4, 8, obviously the 4, 8, and forces this to be 1, 2 again. So what options does that leave us? If it's not 4, 5, 6, or 3, 4, 8. Well, it cannot be anything with a 2 on it. So that's
It
either
can't
3,
be
5,
1,
7.
6, 8.
For the same reasons.
Yeah.
Well,
because 3 and 6 would be out, 4 and 8 would be out. So what do we put on the second?
Right.
So it's going to have a 5 in that 15.
1, 5, 9 or 3, 7, 5. And this is either 3, 6 or 4, 8. Three, 4, 6, 8. 1, 2, 4. Okay, so that's got us some progress. 34. And 52 through 9 is a lot of ground to get to 34. Okay, 23. It cannot have both 6 and 8, 3 and 4, 3 and 8, or 6 and 8. Three and 6 is fine. 4 and 8 are fine. I think everything else is fine. A 9 ends up being required, though. Laura Smith says 2, 4, 8 is probably a problem. Except that would leave this as being 3, 6, and I think it would be fine. Well, we do know that 2s are down here, and so are 8s. But we already know that 2 is up here, and so 2's over here. If we had an 8 in both the 23 and down here, we would remove 8 as a possibility, and it would end up being placed here. However, one thing we do know is the 6s down here line up with the 6s here, so we can't put a 6 in this box. So we do know that 6 is in one of these 3. Four is over here. In fact, all of the evens are over here. So, 2, 4, and 8 would put 2, 4, and 8 up here, which would make this 3 and 6, which is fine.
In column 7, the 2 blank squares
Yeah.
are one has to be 7 or 9. And the other has to be 6 or 8. No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
Well, because the
We
in
know
box 6,
2.
the crop key is either 3, 6 or 4, 8.
Yeah.
So if it's 3, 6,
We get 1, 5, 9,
right.
and
So
2,
that's
4.
2, 4. So that's an 8. Then that would be 8, 9 left over. If it's 4, 8, then that's 1, 2. Then we have 3, 5, 7. So it's 6 and 9. Yeah. So it's either 6, 8 or 7, 6, 7, 8, 9 or what those are from.
Tall Cat says the sum of those two has to be divisible by 3. Because this is a multiple
Oh,
of
yes, it
3,
does.
this is a multiple of 3, and that's a multiple of 3, and the entire column is a multiple of 3. So we know one of them is 7 or 9. So if we used a 9, it would have to be paired with 3 or
The
6.
6. Well, it would have to be paired with the 6 because if it's 9, it's 1 and 5. So the top crop key is 2, 4, and so that has to be 3, 6.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
So then neither of these can be 9 then?
Well, wait a minute. No, that I was putting the 9 in the wrong spot, because if one of those is 9, then the
Yeah,
15 is 357,
right. Which would make this 4, 8, and 1,
which
2.
pairs the 6 with the 6 pairs with the 9,
Right.
and the 8 pairs with the 7, or the 7 pairs with 8.
So
So,
so this one couldn't be a 9 then.
right, that one
Wait,
can't be a
no.
9.
Yeah, because if this was a 9, that would have to be a 6.
Right.
And then, yeah, 7, 8. Because 7 is 1 extra, and um, so I need a 2 extra, which is 2, 5, and 8. I can't use a 2, and I can't use a 5. So yeah, so it would have to be a 7, 8 pair. And then
Yeah,
with
and
that, as Tallcat says, you can take 9 off the Renben now in box 3.
now 5 has to go on the Renban.
Yes. If this has an 8 in it, that's an 8 and that's a 7. If it has the 7 instead, can this be 8 and that 7? Can't think of a reason why not. If this was a 7, you'd have 3, 4, 5, and 6. But that would be 1, 2, 7, 8, 3, 6, 1, 5, 9. That should work. So this would be 2, 5, and 7. Yeah, that should be fine. So this has got 1 and 2, 1 or 2, 4 or 5, 7 or 8. Laura Smith says you just put 2 1s in that column. Did I? If this is 1, 7, excuse me. I'm trying to put 7 and 8 here. So this is 1, 5, 9. So this is 2, 4. So that's 3, 6. Well, this is 2, 4. So I put the 7 here and an 8 here. So this is 2, 5, and 7. Oh. I did put 2 1s. Because if this is a 7, then this is 3, 4, 5, and 6. Well, then this would be 1 and 2. So this cannot be 1 and 7, because now the 15 that can't be made. So this isn't a 7, and this isn't an 8. And that just starts with this being a 7. So yeah, Laura Smith says, you said 1 and 2 on the black dot and then 1 in the 15 cage. Yeah, and that's definitely a problem. So if this is 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would have to be 9 and 6. But if that's 2, 4, and this is a 6,
And that has
this
to
is
be 4,
broken.
8 on the other Kropke breaks it.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 9 and 6. But if that's a 4 and that's a 6, then we're broken. So this can't be 2, 4 then. 1, 9, 3, 6, 4, 8, 9. 9 pairs with a 6. 8's not allowed, so this is 5, 7, and 9. Still have 1 and 3 left over. Three, 4, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Because 1 doubles to 2, doubles to 4, doubles to 8, and 3 doubles to 6, but we cannot do 1 and 2 here because we'll break this one up here. We can't do 8 and 4 because it'll break the other one. Laura Smith says 15 in 4, box 1, needs a 1 or a 2. And if we did both of them, they'd have to be in the bottom row. This 10 cannot be 1, 2, 7 anymore, but it does need a 1 or a 2. So, whatever this is, it's in here now. Ten. Is this 10 restricted based off of what's going on here? Well, you know it can't be a 4-6 pair, because then this will be 2 and 3, which don't work. Tall Cat confirms that. I think 3 and 7 is the least restricted it can be. This Renband starts with a 4. Or more accurately, cannot have 1, 2, or 3 on it. But 4 and 8 are too far away from each other to really be useful. Tall Cat says the Renban in box 8 cannot have 1, 2, 3, or 4 on it.
Yeah, because it would break the crop key.
Right. Because it would be 1, 2, 3 if it had a 1 on it, so we can remove 1. It'd be 2, 3, 4 if it had a 2 on it, so we can remove 2. 3, 4, and 5 would leave 2 and 6, so we could remove 3. 4, 5, 6 would leave 2 and 3, so that's not allowed. So we have to have a 7 on here. There are lots of ways that this has both 1 and 2 in it. If these added to 12, 3, 9, 4, 8, or 5, 7. This has to have 1 or 2 in it, which means either 3, 6, or 4, 5, or it's 2 with 3 and 5. I don't know. I do not know yet. Laura Smith says either way, that 1 and or 2 is in row 3 because of the row 2 pair. Well, blue has to be in here, which means it has to be one of those two. Because we know that blue isn't in the yellow group. Oh, and then the 7 here says no 7's there. That's a lot of information. If this was 2 and 8, we'd get 1 and 4 here, which would make this 3 and 6. So 2 and 8 is allowed. 1 and 9 and 3 and 7, I don't think. Yeah, I think 2, 8 was the one I was hoping to remove from that. Yeah, and this can still end up being green. One
It
through
can't be green.
6. It can't be green?
Row 4, column 6, if it's green, then you eliminate everything for the 10 because 1 9 and 2 8 would be gone. The crop key would have to be 3 6 because it can't be 2 4. Well, 3 7 is now gone, and so is 4 6. So
Oh,
that cannot. So you cannot have green in row 4, column 6.
okay. So that's 4 through 9. Because if it can't be green, then that removes both 1 and 2, and then the 3 gets removed from here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, what, we get 2 and 9 over here? Oh, there's a 9 in this group. I'm being silly. But we do get 2 having to be one of these two.
Yeah.
So it cannot be inside of the 22 here. Could I put green in the yellow group?
It would have to go. Well, either in the 10 or in the yellow.
It would end up having to be 2, 4 here if green was in yellow. Get 1 and we'd get 8, and we'd get 3 and 7. Laura Smith says that breaks green. Green is 1 or 2. If it's a 2, it can be on the crop key. I think it cannot end up being here for the same reason this couldn't be. But if I put it on the crop key, because if this was 1 or 2, then the 10 had to be 3 or 7. And so then we end up with 1, 2, and 3 all removed, and so this would be 4 or 6. So this, none of these 3 can be 1 or 2. But if I put the 2 here, then we get 3 and 7 here, 2 and 4 here, 1 and 8, and then whatever's left over for the remainder. Excuse me. 3, 7, 2, 4, 1, and 8. So yeah, 5, 6, and 9 would get left over. Although if this was 5, 6, or 9, we have 8s there. 5 and 6 would end up having to be on here, so that would end up being our 9. that's okay. Um, five, six, seven, eight. Hmm. 15 to 61. 12 to 47. 11 to 56. Okay, we already know that 2 is forced over here. Is anything else? If these were 8s, I mean, that could still be a 9. We have 4, 5, 6, and 7 on these 3. Hmm. Two and 4 through 9. This can't be 1 or 2. This can't be 1 or 2. This can't be 1 or 2. Oh, but I can still put 1 or 2 inside of the 10.
Right. Which makes the crop key 3-6.
Yeah. Where do we look next? It has to have one of 1 and 2, but it could still have both. I mean, if it had a 2 in it, it would force a 2 into yellow, which would make that 1s. Fifteen and 4. Laura Smith says we also need one of 3, 4, or 5 in the 15. We do. We need 1 or 2, 2 or 3, 3, 4, or 5, and 6 through 9. Well, okay. This 10. Well, no. I was gonna say something about this 10. Like if I put 5 and 6 in here, that would combine with the 5 or 6 over here, and I need 5 and 6 up here, but I can put the 5 or 6 on the outside and the other one inside the 10, and that should be just fine. I'm trying to figure out the interaction between this column and this column, or these rows. I guess this was a row, not a column, but And then this Renban here doesn't have to have 4 or 8. It could be 5, 6, and 7.
Right.
Because if it had to have 4 or 8 on it, then that would remove options from here, would remove options from there. How do we restrict this 10 more? Well, if this was 3 and 6, that would make this 7, 8, 9. It would force 1 and 2 over here, so it would be 1, 9 or 2, 8. This would have to be 4, 5, or 6. Which would remove 9 as an option if this was 7, 8, 9. But I'm not seeing anything else that the 3, 6 here does. This 10 cannot be 1, 2, 7. But I can't think of anything else. This 15. Can't think of any reason why any particular set on the 15 is removed. This 22 does not have a 2 in it. Well, it's not both 1 and 3. So one of these two is 1 or 3, which means we can't have both 1 and 3 in yellow. I didn't forget any of the rules, did I? Normal Sudoku rules, dotted cages, palindromes, Renbands, Crockies, and Little Killers. That's it.
Basically, in the in box 4, the 22 cage, the only thing it can't have is a 2.
Yeah. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yep. This cannot be 2 and 3. So we remove both 2 and 3 from yellow. It cannot be 3 and 4 for the same reason. But that just removes the digit 3. So that's not helpful. Did the 15 and the 22 have to overlap in any way? Because anything that's in both the 15 and the 22 ends up being yellow. So if we had a 1 in 15 and a 1 in 22, we'd get a 1 in yellow. But I can't put a 1 in yellow. So that would be a 1 here, a 2 there. This would
Right,
be
that would
3 and
make
7. And now this one's broken. So these cannot both have a 1. Because I do not have a 1 in yellow. Which actually just means that the 1 is here. Which could mean both 1 and 2. So they're not both 1s. this isn't a 7. It's not 1. It's not 2. So we have both 1 and 7 in these 6.
Just not seeing anything.
Yeah. If I made this 4, 5, 6, and 7, just for funsies, this could be 1, 2, 3, and 9, and they have no overlapping digits. Okay, 25 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 digits. That's 11 through 56. 40 is here, 15 through 61. 34 is here, 12 through 47. That's not what I wanted. I want colors to go away, because I want to highlight the diagonals, the little killers. I Hmm. Unfortunately, I'm feeling rather fuzzy, which is not great. One, 3, 1, 4, 4, 2, 1. 16. (17 through 58) is 18 more than minimum. Or no, 18 less than maximum. If this was 3, 7, right, Laura Smith says box 9 already has 3, 5, and 7. 3, 5, and 7. That's not going to mess with the sum and the diagonal too much, though. But if this was 3, 7, we'd have 2, 4 here. 7 would get removed from these, but this one could still be a 7. So we could have 8 and 9, 4, 5, and 6, or 6 and 8. So it's this one that's more important to ask, can it be 8? If it is an 8, this does not have a 9 on it. And it would have to have 5 or 6. So this would be 4 or 7 or 9 if this is 8. This has to have 5 or 6 on it. Green is either in the 10 or here. Does the 22 and the 23 have to align?
I was just looking at the 22 and the 23. Because what's in between the 22 and the 23 in those in rows 5 and 6 adds to 45. But I wasn't coming up with anything to
45, 35, 29. But I think more interestingly is this has to be 2, 5, 7, or 9.
Oh,
So if I put a 9 over here, then the 9 has to be up here. These two have to be on the Ren band. If this was 5, 7, and 9, this would be 8 or 6 to connect to the 5, 7.
uh-oh.
Or 9. What's uh-oh?
Um, I think I just lost Discord.
Um,
As it went away. Well, no, it's still connected, but I'm not seeing your screen anymore.
yeah. Here, let me stop streaming.
Sorry about that.
No worries. And stream my entire screen. And then make sure to click in it so you can see. Is it working again?
I
I'm
just got the
highlighting
two
the
little
22 box.
things, the two little boxes rotating around each other. But it says I started a call.
Um, that's weird. I'm assuming you can still hear me.
I can still hear you.
Okay. Can you see it on like your phone?
Yeah, I can. I mean, I can see the on the phone the thing.
Mhm.
Here, let me. uh, Should I close stream? Stop watching? Try again?
Um, I mean, you can. Yeah, if you
Oh, wait
hit
a minute.
stop
Watch stream.
watching and
There
then
we go.
watch
It
stream,
came back up.
it's working. Okay, good.
Uh, it's all fuzzy, but
Yeah.
that's weird. Okay.
Probably it sounds like your download has got slowed down by something.
Yeah, something's going on. Whatever.
Okay. Whatever is in the yellow has to be in this half of the box. And then we have our red 4-8 is in here. Our red 4-8 is here. green is in here, then this is a 3, 6. Making that 7, 8, 9. Making this 4, 5, or 6. If we remove 9 from both of those. If we have 3 and 6 here, then it must be over here, which means it's not there. But I don't have enough information about this 22 to decide that anything has to match from over here. Like, even 1, 5, 7, and 9 could work. So I can make this 5, 7, 9, and then this is 6 or 8. That would be 5 or 9. That would be 5 or 9. So that would have to be 7. What else could we possibly be able to look at? I mean, you said this is 45 in 10 cells. So that means there's one, at minimum, one duplicate. It, if these 4 shared no digits with these 4, Mama, Mama got disconnected somehow. I think her internet dropped. She's not in the call anymore, from what I can tell. But if these 4 digits were 4 different digits than these, then there's no way they would sum to 45. Because the sum of 8 different digits is at most 44. Mama! So,
Oh, okay, there we go. I connected again.
yeah. I was looking at the 22 and the 23. that you pointed out before, sum to 45.
Right.
If the 22 shared no digits with the 23, then it could not sum to 45 because the minimum that the maximum that 8 different digits add up to is 44. So we know that we have to have a 5, 7, or 9 in the 22, which I think that has a 9 in it, that has a 7 in it, that has a 5 in it, has both 5 and a 7. So we couldn't have done that anyway. That doesn't eliminate any options. And then we've got 35 here in 8 cells. That is 2 sets of the digits, 1 through 9. And so is that. Although there's that one. I double count those. Or wait, instead of double counting those, I could just do this box. Although I don't see how that helps. So I've done something wrong with the set theory. They need to intersect more. Laura Smith says using columns 6 and 7, making both the 10 cage and the 4-8 pair, gives us that row 5, column 7 is 4, because both need to add to 10 to be the same. Row 5, column 7. if we're looking at using columns 6 and 7, making both the 10 cage and the 4-8 pair, and row 5 and 6. Column 6, 7, cross row 5 and 6. Okay, so we know that that gets removed. And both add to 10. Wait, are we saying the set theory is this and this, and since removing this keeps the set the same, removing this keeps the set the same as well? I mean, I get that you're talking about the 10 cage. I'm just trying to, like, are you saying that this 10 has to equal that 10? It seems to. If this was an 8, you'd have 4s here. Yeah, because we know if we did the set this way, we know that removing... Wait, hold on. If I make this blue and this red, then I know that gets removed, those get removed. Make this blue. We remove that. Got 10. Oh, but now I'm 45 too many. How do I prove that this has to be a 4? Because they're in the middle of this cross. Because we know the sums of the columns and the rows are the same. So this removes the same from both groups. So if I remove red, do I remove blue? And if we take out the 10 cage, then the sums are still the same.
Yeah.
And then you're saying I can take the sums out of all of this, and the sums are still the same?
Oh, yeah, red and blue still sum to the same because that's what red and blue are.
Yeah,
But they don't have to sum to 10.
yeah. I mean, what I could do is I could take red out, and I could take blue out. Well, we kind of already knew that. The red-blue pair in column 7 should be the same as the 10 cage because it is also in both colors. I don't think that follows. Because um so we took the 10 out because it's in both groups. And since all of this, and if we just remove all of that, what we're left with is that red and blue is the same. So, like right now, red and blue are the exact same digits. And because we know that those are the same in both groups, then that means that all of this is the same in both groups. So we can remove all of this. But red and blue are the same, is what we're saying. And then because these are in both red and blue, it's the same. I don't think we're ever getting to the point where it has to be 10. Because we can get to this, but again, all we're saying is that red and blue are the same, but that's kind of tautological because we just selected these four and we said they're in both groups. And so I don't think I can remove this 10. And I think I can prove this by highlighting this here. if I did red and blue, right? We can do the similar logic and take all of this out. And because we have a 9 here, this is a 1 or a 2, and this is the opposite of 1 or a 2. So if this was 10, we could do 2 and 8, but there's nothing stopping us from doing 2 and 9 for 11, and then this isn't forced to be 11. In fact, it couldn't even be 11. And there's no like sums here to try and enforce anything. Because yeah, I kind of want that to be the case here as well, but I don't think we quite got there with the set that we wanted. I mean, um, I guess the other thing would be is if the intersection was here, like there's no way to make both halves of the 23 the same. Yeah, because the intersection is just these 4 cells are in both groups. Saying that these 2 have to be 10 says nothing about these 2. Because I could also just remove these 2 from both groups, and that doesn't mean that those have to be anything, because it's just the red and the blue groups are the same. Yeah, I think we're just short of proving that's a 4, unfortunately. If this had a 7 on it, no, what was? I think it was the 579 there that I was trying to ask. No, if this was 3 and 7, then I wouldn't have 7 here. I could still have a 7 here. This would be 2, 4, which would put 8s. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, where neither of those is 7. 7, 8, 4. 5 and 6 would get removed, so that would have to be a 9. So this would be 4 or 7 to go along with the 2. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 3, 7, 9, and 8. We get a 5, 6 pair here and here. This has to have 1 or 2 and 5 or 6. So this would be 3, 4, 7, 8. I am missing something.
Nine.
Right, 9 would have to go over here as well. This just couldn't have both 4 and 7. There's only a few options that do that. Oh no, this couldn't have 7 at all. Because of the 7 here and here. And now I feel like I'm getting too far away. If this is 3 and 7, then this is 8. If this is 1, 9, 4, 2, 8. Well, if this is 2, 8, then this ends up being 4s. So we get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I couldn't put 8s in either of these two, so this one couldn't be a 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 and 8 get removed. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So a 7 has to be on these. It's not here or here. Ones and twos. So it ended up being 2, 3, 5. 3, 6. Would make this 7, 8, 9. So the 9 would go away. And then the 9 would go away from here. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Which means this couldn't be a 6. Oh, it couldn't have been a 6 anyway. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7 and 6. 8, 3, and 4. That's a 5, 9 pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eight, but 8 and 2 that way.
That wouldn't work.
Why not?
Because if 7 is in row 1, column 6, then it goes on in box 3, the 7 goes on there, and the 3 has to be in row 1, which breaks the 2, 3, 5.
Okay. So this cannot be 2 and 8. If this is 1 and 9, we get a pair of 2s. And a 1. So this would be 3 and 6. 7, 8, 9. And a 1. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 and 8 would get removed from here. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 and 6 get removed. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this would end up being a 2, 9 pair. One, 9, 2, 3, and 6.
7, 8, 9 because of the box.
Right. 7 and 8. So 1, 4, 5.
And something else, too.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 would get removed. This one can't be 1. Now I feel like there's too much going on.
All right, well, can it be 3, 7 for the 10?
Yeah. If we go back to 3, 7, that made this 2, 4, which means this was 8s and a 4. These were 1s and a 2. 2, 3, and 5.
Which puts 3 on the...
So this would be 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6. And what's left over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
4 and 9.
9.
Yeah. That one can't be 4.
4. 5, 6, and 9. But then this doesn't have an 8 on it, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If it doesn't have an 8, it doesn't have a 9, so 5 and 6 is required. So this ends up being a 9. This ends up being a 6. 6 and
That
9
one's
places a 5. 6, 7, 8, 9.
7 and 8 are required.
7, get removed. This one.
1, 3.
6. No. Yeah, because this one is still
Right.
6 or 9. So then this would be 6 or 9 as well. The 3 would get removed from here. What about this row? 9, 8, 1, 3, 5, and 6. We've got 2, 4, and 7 still. Where the 7 has to be in the top row here. If we removed 7,
Yeah, it's not. Oh, well, okay. Column 3, box 7 is 2, 4, 5 because it's the same as.
4, and 5 gets removed from here. Same as those. This wouldn't be the 5. But this wouldn't be a 2. So that would
Or a
be.
5.
So that's the 3, that's the 2. This would be the 5. This 15 would not have 4, would not have 9, would not have 3. 1, 2, 5, 7. 6 and 8.
Okay. Look at where 2s and 7s are now in columns 1 and 2. Or look where 7 is. So where does 7 go in box 7? Oh, never mind.
It goes in here.
Yeah.
But this ends up having to be 7.
Well, then you can't put 4 on that Ren band.
It doesn't need to be. Do a 2, 4 pair here. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, that had to be 6 or 7. I'm going to put 6 right there. That's a 7. Removes the 7s. Removes the 4. That's a 2, 4
Right.
pair. So now 4 gets removed. 3, 5, 6, 8. 6s are gone from here. But now it seems like we're just making progress on solving the puzzle.
Right. So the only thing we did was we eliminated the 1, 9. Or
We
was it the 2, 8?
eliminated 2, 8.
Right.
So if we go back to 1 and 9 here, we end up with 9s over here, 2s here, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the 9 gets removed from here because these are now 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But this one isn't 7 or 8. And a 7 is a requirement. 9 and 7 get removed.
Go to 6.
1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This obviously doesn't have 5 or 7 on it. This one can't have 7 or 8 on it. So 1, 2, 4, and 5.
And column 6 now has a 4, 5, 8 triple.
4, 5, and 8. 7. So 7 ends up having to be in here, so 3 has to be up here.
Right. And that's 16, so 6 goes away. It's 1, 4, 5. And that's an 8, 9 at the front of the row. And now 9 and 9 in columns 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Because you can't have a 9 in column 3, so the 9 has to go, and that breaks the box.
Right. Okay, so that breaks the 1, 9. So we get 3, 7 here. 3, 6, 8s, and 4s. Seven is
That was
these.
painful.
3 and 8, 4. Eights are gone. 1s and 2s.
Yeah. Column 6 is 4, 6, or 5, 6, 9, and then the 4 comes out from row 4 in the column 6.
5, 6, 9. This isn't a 5. This isn't 3. So 7 and 8 get removed. 4. 4, 6, and 9. 9 gets removed. So 5 and 6 are required on here. So this is a 9. That's a 6. 6s get removed. Those aren't 6s. That's a 5. None of those are 5s. 7 and 8 are required.
And that it did make it a 4 for the.
It did.
And with that 1, 3 in column, and goes 6 or 9.
3, 6, 9. I can type the right numbers. Eight, 9, 1 and 3, 5 and 6.
Well, and in box 7, the beginning of that cage is 2, 4, 5.
4, 5, 2, 3. Felt like we
5.
placed a 2 and 5 here. But maybe we didn't.
But the 5 comes, and 2 comes out of what's listed in the box.
3, 4, 7, and 9. This can't be a 7. $15 doesn't have 9, it doesn't have 4, and it doesn't have 3. 1, 2, 5, and 7. 1 and 2, 5 and 7. 7 is gone, 5s are gone. But
6
6
and
and
8.
8. 6, 8, 7, not 7. 4, so we've got 5, 6 pair there. Alright. 2 is gone, 4 is gone, 7 is gone, 3, 5, 6, and 8. 1 and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 is gone. Neither of these two can be 8 because 7 and 8 is required here. 1s. I think 3 has to be here. Yeah, so that's not a 3 up here. And what is that one? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 4, and 5 all get removed. This one can't have a 1, nor can it have a 3. Okay. Now we look at this, and we say it's 10 less than maximum. We look at this one. It is 7 less than maximum, which actually means that if this were a 1, I couldn't reach 34 anymore. So this isn't a 1, it's a 9. And I think this one also can't be a 1 for the same reason, although it's not nearly as helpful. But these two can't be 9. Ten less than maximum here. 5 more than minimum. Which means this one can't be a 9. Because then we'll get up to 28. We make more progress than that. Okay. One, we've got 3. 1, 3, 7, and 8. Seventh less than maximum. I have to remove something in order to make progress on that. Gosh darn it. Where do we go from here? this intersects both the 40 and the 34. The red set is 10 less than maximum. Blue set is 7 less than maximum. The yellow set is 5 more than minimum. Oh, I've got a 3, 4, 5 triple here, so this ends up being a 7. It's also a 3, 4, 9. Okay, and now we're back to the blue. Red.
18.
18 where?
That's what we have right now. 18.
Okay, yeah.
So we need 16, which is way more than what is.
Yeah, we've got lots of...
There's a 248 triple in box 5.
So 1.
Not that that helped anything because it didn't change anything.
That's upsetting. But we will persevere. Yellow set is 5 more than minimum. Okay, if this was a 6, then that would make the yellow set minimum 25, which means I would need to put a 1 and a 2, which would break this. So this isn't a 6. If this is a 2, that's a 2. What else? 7 less than minimum. Or 7 less than maximum. What did we say the remainder here was? 16?
18. Yeah, 18 and 16 is 34.
Okay. If this was a 6, I would need 10. That would have to be 3 and 7. So if this is a 6, this is a 3, this is a 7.
It's 5. Then we need 11.
which I can do 3, 8, or 5 and
5,
6.
6.
Either way, this isn't a 9. And with our 40, we've
Right,
got 23,
23.
so we need 17. If this was a 9, those would sum to 8. 2 and 6, or 7 and 1. Wait, 23. So yeah, 17. If this was a 4, then these would be 13. 5, 8, 7, and 6, 9, and 4. And 3 would be 26, so I would need 14. 5 and 9. Five, 6, 8. None of them would be 3. This could be a 6. That's a 3, then that fixes those. 2, 5, 7, 9. 9s are gone. 7s are gone. 2s are gone. So 5s are gone. 5 will be gone. 8 will be gone. 4. 7. 6, 7, 8, 9. 7 would make that an 8, 9 pair. Take 8, 9 out. 7. Hey, Magnus Legna, we are doing some Sudoku. How are you doing this evening? We're doing a pretty difficult puzzle, so we're trying to do some extra heavy puzzle solving. 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Messing around in Heroes of Hammer Watch 2? Nice. Number go up makes a lot of sense to me. This 8 would make that go that way. 9 would replace these. 4 and 2, so 2 and 1. This 3 would take those 3s out, so 1 and 6 is gone. 6 and 5. 1 and 4 is 5. 9 would be 14. 15, 16. Don't have the rest of this situated fully quite yet. 3, 5, and 7. This would be not 7, not 7, not 5, so that's 3. Now those is 3, 5, and 5. Five, 3s would get removed. 6, 4s would get removed.
The 5 in row 9 does a little bit of work, which makes a 2-4 pair.
5, 2, 4 pair, 7, 8, and 9 also get removed, so that 1, 3, and 6 are remaining.
3 comes out of that because of the 3, 5, 7 in the box.
Right. So then that's a 1, 6 pair, making this one 3, and now we get a 1, 6 pair here. Magnus Legna says, also doing funny build comps, Great Axe on Warlock, Caster Rogue, Melee Warrior Priest, etc. I have heard that it's quite silly the types of builds that can be done in that game. Okay, I'm going to look at the yellow diagonal again, because I've got a 5, and 1 and 9 makes 15, 4 for 19, 20, 21, so I need 4 remaining, which I cannot do. Right? 1 and 4 is 5, and 9 makes 14, 15, 16, and another 5 is 21. To make 4, I would need a 1, 3 pair. I don't have that ability. So the superscript all goes away. 2, 5, 3, 5, 6, 4. Nine and 4.
The 34
32.
little killer.
So this needs to be 8. Paired with 3, 2 paired with 6. And then you said the 34 little killer. I'm at 23, so these two need to be 11. 7 will pair with 4. Minimum is 22. So if this was a 7, we would get 26 as the minimum. So 7's not allowed here. those two sum to 8. Three more than minimum. Okay. This one is either minimum or plus 2. Minimum or plus 2, minimum or plus 2, minimum or plus 2. This is the only one that can be a plus 1. So this has to be a 2. And now I need 2 more. And one of those is 2 more. So this one of those has to be a 3. Because only one of them can go up 2. And so if this goes up 2, that's a 3. Or this one goes... Wait, no. If this one goes up 2, that's a 5. And this one would stay at 1. Never mind. This isn't a 9. Almost at the end. 2, 5, and 7 places a 9. 5 has to be one of those two, so it can't be either of those. Sum to 11. Whatever this is, it's that digit. Those two are the same, which is fine. What am I missing? One, 3, 6. Those two are even. Let me see if there was something I can do with this, but I don't think it goes that far. Okay. 2 pairs with 6. This not being a 3 means this isn't an 8.
Column 1, where does 1 go?
It has to go here.
The red cell in box 9. The center
Mhm.
script sees box 7.
Six, 7. Alarm.
For the little killer,
Uh-huh.
the 25 little killer, if that's a
Oh,
3
right.
superscript, then we have to have those sum to, yeah.
Two, four pair. Makes that a 5. Here. The 8. 6, 7, 9.
Box 9, center script has a 469 triple.
7 makes an 8.
Row 7 has a 7 in center script.
4, 6. But I have 2 3s.
You do have 2 3s.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Because the 1 here.
Yeah.
Because this is where I started. So
Right.
this was a 1, made that a 3. 7, 1. And we have 11, which is 2, 9, which doesn't work at all. 3, 8. 4, 7, which doesn't work at all. And 5, 6, which only works in one direction. And then this is 1 or 3. Well, this is a 1, makes that a 3, makes that a 2, makes that a 3. So this can't be 3, therefore this cannot be 8. This was 3 and 7, but this 7 makes that a 3. So the 3, so this would have to be 5 and 6. 3, 5, 6, and 8. So 5 gets removed. 6 is placed there. Um, 2, 5, 7. That would be a 2 or 5. 2, 8 would be this way. This 3 takes 3, places it that way. Um, 3, 5, 7. Not 3, so 7. Excuse me. 2, 4, 5. 5. That's 4. 6 and 8. 7 here. 6 there. It's a 6, 7 pair. So 9. So it goes into 9. I have an 8 in one of those two. 2, 4, 8. Maybe, I don't know. 3, 9. Oh, but the 3 is gone. So it can't be 9. Eight, 4. 4 here takes a 4 out of there. 2 says no 2 there. This one's into 6. 1, 8. 2, 4, and 9. So that has to be 9. 2, 4, 5. 3. 5.
Row 9, there's a 6 in center script.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, somehow I must have just messed up what I was doing in center script.
Yeah.
Because I got to a solution.
Column 8 before. That looks like it's done.
Yeah. Okay, superscript. Yeah, because in superscript I don't have anything that affects these yet. This 6 means that's not a 6, means neither of those are a 6, so 8 pairs with a 3. 5 and 7. 8 faces those that way. Okay, I've got 6 and 8, and now I have, well, this has to be 7 in both ways, but now I have 2 7s. What am I missing from this column? 1, 2, missing a 3. Yeah, and this 6 making this one a 3, and now I don't have a 3 in here.
Right.
So that's what breaks the superscript. 5, 7, 8, 7, 6, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 2, 5, 7, 1, 8, 2, 9, 6. Let's go. Alright. We've been awake too long. It is nap time.
Yeah.
Alright, goodbye.